Renegade Immortal Episode 65. Wang Lin used the Dalo Jianzong teleportation formation to travel to another fragment of the immortal realm. Unexpectedly, he encountered Hong Dai on the way. Facing a late-stage soul formation cultivator, how would Wang Lin respond? Continuing from the last episode, after refinement, the Green Mountain cultivator was dead, leaving behind only a storage bag and a precious sword. When Wang Lin picked up the sword and his divine sense swept over it, an ecstatic expression appeared on his face. The sword's structure was quite similar to the mirror sail, and engraved within it were 300 sets of mirrors with single attack attributes. If integrated into the mirror sail, these mirrors would definitely enhance its power considerably. However, comprehending these mirrors wouldn't be possible in a short time, so Wang Lin put it aside. He then picked up the Green Mountain cultivator's storage bag. After removing the divine sense restriction, he discovered it contained hundreds of top-grade spirit stones. In addition, two other items attracted Wang Lin's attention, a jade cauldron and a jade slip. The jade slip revealed that Dalo Jianzong had discovered 37 fragmented lands in the immortal realm, each secretly equipped with a teleportation formation. These formations, similar to ancient ones, required top-grade spirit stones to activate, explaining the large quantity in the storage bag. After learning this, Wang Lin used the Dalo Jianzong teleportation formation to arrive at another fragment of the immortal realm. What came into view was a world without mountains or water, only a sky filled with yellow sand. As he moved forward, he saw a group of charming and beautiful young women appear in the distance. They held trays of fresh fruits and fine wines. Above them, dozens of young men stepped on auspicious clouds, guarding the procession. Faced with this strange scene, Wang Lin didn't pay much attention, having already noticed that although the group was filled with laughter and joy, their surroundings were incredibly quiet. And they didn't seem to notice his presence. Wang Lin understood that the scene was an illusion. He also deduced that there must be some strange power in this place that could conjure up scenes from the immortal realm's past. Wanting to know what happened to the immortal realm, Wang Lin followed the illusions from afar, intending to investigate. The group stopped at a certain place where an illusory palace slowly appeared. They placed the fruits and wines on tables inside the palace. Behind the table sat several immortal-like figures, chatting and laughing. Occasionally, they waved their hands, discussing the righteous Tao, as if the power of heaven and earth were within their grasp. Wang Lin was shocked because these people, without using any spells, could display their respective divine abilities. Suddenly, one stood up, angrily pointing at another with a furious expression. After saying a few words, he waved his hand, and a purple lightning ball flew into the sky. As it rose, the clear sky was streaked with black lightning bolts. These quickly converged into a gigantic bolt that smashed the lightning ball. The gigantic bolt's momentum continued towards the palace. Everyone's faces inside changed drastically, except for two quick-reacting immortals who swiftly escaped. The rest, along with the palace, were instantly reduced to nothingness. Witnessing this, Wang Lin felt even more shocked and puzzled. A blue sword light streaked across the sky, speeding towards them from the distant void. A giant hand materialized in the sky. With a gentle squeeze, the enormous flying sword shattered into specks of starlight that disappeared. The illusion changed. Numerous immortals rose into the air, anger etched on their faces. The hand that had crushed the flying sword flipped slightly, slamming downwards. The earth trembled and mountains and rivers crumbled. As Wang Lin was immersed in this illusion, a fluorescent light shot out from within the hand, swiftly piercing towards him. Wang Lin felt alarm and released his thunder cauldron. The cauldron spat out a lightning ball that collided with the light. However, the thunder cauldron was knocked back. Wang Lin's expression darkened. He flew to the top of the cauldron. As the fluorescent light dispersed, a woman with a graceful figure appeared. Wang Lin looked at her and said, "Hong Dai." In reality, if Wang Lin's divine sense hadn't reached the late stage of soul formation, he would have mistakenly believed the fluorescent light was part of the illusion and would have been killed by Hong Dai. Hearing Wang Lin call her name, Hong Dai's face showed a merciless expression. She asked, "You really know me? Tell me, who are you?" Wang Lin smiled faintly and said, "The favored child of the Shuoyu kingdom, who doesn't know me?" But Hong Dai wasn't satisfied. "If you won't tell me, then you'll stay here today." She raised her right hand, and a burst of fluorescent light flashed. Wang Lin chuckled, his eyes gleaming. He said, "I heard that Lady Hong Dai cultivated from immortal to late-stage soul formation in just 100 years. But although 100 years is short for a mortal, it's a lifetime. I wonder if your parents are still alive." Hong Dai frowned. With a wave of the fluorescent light, countless silver snakes showered down upon Wang Lin. Wang Lin patted his thunder cauldron. The cauldron swelled and spat out another lightning ball. With a shout from Wang Lin, the lightning ball exploded, transforming into bolts of lightning that intertwined with the silver snakes. Taking advantage of the shockwave, Wang Lin retrieved his cauldron and swiftly retreated. As he retreated, Wang Lin called out, "Hong Dai, besides you, do your parents have any other children? If not, wouldn't there be no one to perform their last rites? A person's lack of filial piety is one such thing." Hong Dai's brows furrowed tightly. She looked coldly at the retreating Wang Lin. Then, she chased after him. With a point of her finger, her flying sword transformed into a long rainbow, speeding forward at several times Wang Lin's speed. The flying sword contained the power of artistic conception and carried a sense of mercilessness. As the sword shuttled through the air, countless snowflakes faintly appeared around it. Seeing this, Wang Lin patted his storage bag and took out the mirror sail. With a wave, bursts of black mist filled the surroundings. Streaks of ghostly chi roared out from the mist, transforming into vicious dragons that charged towards the flying sword. Wang Lin quickly disappeared into the black mist. When he reappeared, he was behind Hong Dai. With his hands forming hand seals, traces of spiritual power seeped out from his body, forming a vortex of black and white chi. The artistic conception of life and death spread out from the vortex. Seeing this, Hong Dai frowned again. She scoffed, "You're courting death." She raised her right hand and swiped it backwards. 5 streams of icy chi swirled around her fingers, growing larger, transforming into 5 snowy peaks that crashed down. This snow was born from the heavens and died by the earth. Wang Lin calmly watched. Even facing Hong Dai, a late-stage soul formation cultivator, he was determined to fight her. As Wang Lin's vortex of life and death artistic conception rapidly expanded, the 5 snowy peaks began to melt as they descended. But at the instant of collision, a trace of merciless artistic conception invaded Wang Lin's body. Instantly, his face paled, and he spat out blood. A powerful chill enveloped him, and the memories of his parents and relatives blurred. Wang Lin knew that once his familial love and memories were completely eroded by this merciless artistic conception, Hong Dai could kill him with a single thought. Thinking of this, Wang Lin mobilized his life and death artistic conception to resist. He recalled scenes from his mortal tribulation, the lives and deaths of Donghwa's parents, the life of a mortal. These memories condensed into a powerful force within his heart. Drawing on this strength, Wang Lin shouted, 100 years of time, a mortal's lifetime, parents and loved ones, how can the heavenly Tao erase them? Hong Dai, even if your parents have entered reincarnation, they're still watching you from behind. Do you dare to look back? Hearing this, although Hong Dai's expression remained unchanged, Wang Lin sensed a slight loosening in her merciless artistic conception. Seizing the opportunity, he frantically circulated his life and death artistic conception. He grabbed the mirror sail and waved it. Over 100 vicious dragons formed from ghostly chi roared and charged towards Hong Dai. After an intense confrontation, Wang Lin forced the wisp of merciless artistic conception out of his body. Taking a deep breath, he secretly rejoiced. The power of artistic conception at the late stage of soul formation is truly formidable. From the moment Hong Dai ambushed him, the battle had already begun quietly. Hongdai cultivated the Ice Heart Ju, a celestial art emphasizing the release and crushing of emotions one by one, thereby achieving a mind as clear as ice. But similarly, this was also her ineradicable weakness. Without the tempering of time, no matter how firm her Tao heart, she couldn't completely erase the emotions of the mortal world. Therefore, the cunning Wang Lin had mentioned Hongdai's parents, aiming to evoke a trace of memory and shake her Tao heart. However, Hongdai's Tao heart was unusually firm. Wang Lin tried many times to disturb her state of mind, but couldn't find her weakness. Finally, under Wang Lin's life and death artistic conception, a slight fluctuation appeared in Hongdai's merciless artistic conception. Knowing his words had taken effect, Wang Lin ran. Hongdai didn't care about the vicious dragons. As they pounced, her nascent soul left its sheath. With a wave of her hands, a blue ripple spread out. The vicious dragons turned to ice, falling from the sky. She stared intently in the direction Wang Lin had fled, her gaze icy. She had seen through his purpose. Her Tao heart wouldn't be easily moved, but she hadn't expected Wang Lin's strange artistic conception, containing a trace of comprehension of life and death from the heavenly Tao of reincarnation. Especially the sentence, "Even if they have entered reincarnation, your parents are still watching you." Memories in Hongdai's mind scattered. Although she immediately erased them, she lost the best opportunity to kill Wang Lin. Hongdai murmured, "A mere early-stage soul formation cultivator actually knows how to disrupt my Tao heart. This person absolutely cannot be spared." However, the teleportation technique of a late-stage soul formation cultivator was far superior. No matter how far Wang Lin flew, Icy Chi followed close behind. A bold idea flashed through Wang Lin's mind. He remembered the giant handprint he had seen in the palace in the Immortal Realm fragment, and the hand that had crushed the flying sword and slammed down towards the earth. Wang Lin soared into the air, ascending higher and higher. Hongdai, chasing close behind, sneered, thinking, "No matter what you do today, you won't escape." Wang Lin suddenly stopped, looking down at the earth as if in a daze. He unconsciously stretched out his right hand and pressed downwards. The sky darkened. Strange chi gathered, forming a giant handprint that pressed down towards Hongdai. Seeing this, Hongdai's expression changed drastically. She wanted to retreat, but the handprint was so large it passed directly through her and imprinted itself upon the earth. A palm technique descending from the heavens? A shock wave surged outwards. However, unlike the Tathagata's palm, this palm was merely Wang Lin's comprehension from the illusion, without attack power. It only possessed the form. After executing this palm, all the spiritual power in Wang Lin's body dissipated. He consumed a medicinal pill. Without waiting for it to dissolve, he threw out the Green Mountain Cultivator's jade slip, chose another fragment to activate the teleportation formation, and disappeared. When Hongdai looked up, he was gone. Hongdai thought, this person actually possesses a teleportation formation. His identity is definitely not ordinary. Moreover, his life and death artistic conception is quite strange. He must be an elite disciple cultivated by some 5th-level cultivation country on Jukei's star. After shaking off Hongdai's pursuit, Wang Lin continued to search for immortal chi. He randomly chose an Immortal Realm fragment. When he appeared, the scene stunned him. It was a world of fire. The ground was covered in dark red magma, with scorching hot bubbles occasionally rising. Wang Lin hovered, looking around. This Immortal Realm fragment was completely different. Especially the spatial rifts that occasionally appeared in the sky, like the mouths of devils, made him apprehensive. Wang Lin frowned, wondering why the Dalo Jianzong teleportation formation was in such a dangerous place. Could it be that the more dangerous the environment, the richer the immortal chi? Previously, after using the Great Luo Sword Sex teleportation array to escape Hongdai, Wang Lin arrived at an Immortal Realm fragment filled with magma and spatial rifts. He couldn't understand why the teleportation array was in such a dangerous place. With this question in mind, Wang Lin slowly flew downwards. He landed about 30 meters above the ground, in a relatively safe area with fewer spatial rifts. He flew to a cave entrance. Looking down, he saw only pitch darkness. Just as Wang Lin was about to enter, a light flashed above. A teleportation array appeared. Excitement flickered in Wang Lin's eyes. He thought that if someone else explored the cave first, the risk of entering alone would be greatly reduced. Two figures emerged from the array, both at the early stage of soul formation. They each carried a sword. One warned, "Sixth junior brother, this place is extremely dangerous. Be sure to watch out for the spatial rifts." The sixth junior brother looked at the large hole below and asked, "Third senior brother, is this the Immortal Beast Mansion from back then?" "That's right. This is one of the 16 Immortal Beast Mansions of the Immortal Realm. Our ancestors stumbled upon it after several trips." The two descended into the cave. Wang Lin, hidden in the shadows, silently followed. The sixth junior brother spoke, "With just the two of us, I'm afraid it will be difficult to obtain the immortal beast spirit." The third senior brother explained, "You may not know this, but if any immortal beast spirit still remains, after so many years without immortal realm chi, it must be extremely weak. Once we find it, we can bring it back to the sect and nurture it. We will surely make a great contribution." He continued, "It was here that our ancestor captured an immortal beast spirit, which allowed him to unify the Tian-Dun star and establish the Great Luo Sword sect's millennium-long legacy." Wang Lin heard everything clearly. He thought, could this be the legendary Immortal Beast Mansion of the Immortal Realm? Although not entirely sure, he guessed that this place was a habitat for immortal beasts. Though the calamity had caused many to perish, some might have survived and continued to cultivate here. This might be the reason for the teleportation array. As he flew, Wang Lin's divine sense detected that 100 meters ahead, the two disciples had stopped before a stone statue several tens of meters tall. Carved on it was a bird-like beast with enormous wings. The third senior brother said, "Junior brother, protect me. I will collect the immortal chi." The sixth junior brother activated his sword and vigilantly observed the surroundings. The third senior brother shouted and pressed both hands onto the statue. With rumbling sounds, the statue moved aside. A wisp of immortal chi diffused from the dark opening. The third senior brother patted his storage pouch and retrieved a small, green gourd. The immortal chi was absorbed into the gourd. The sixth junior brother's gaze fell upon the gourd. He asked, could this be the legendary spirit-gathering gourd? Indeed. The spirit-gathering gourd was refined by the ancestor of the Great Luo Sword sect. There are only 3 in the entire sect. This gourd absorbs immortal chi at the fastest possible speed without laborious refinement. Wang Lin's gaze was drawn to the gourd. A sneer played at the corner of his lips. Observing their attire, he recognized them as disciples of the Great Luo Sword sect. Since he already had a grudge against them, he was determined to seize the gourd. After they walked for a while, the third senior brother suddenly stopped and stared into the distance. Following his gaze, Wang Lin saw a grayish-white skeleton leaning against the cave wall, holding a ball of light. Wang Lin could tell the skeleton was unusual. The ball of light emitted traces of immortal chi. The third senior brother instructed the sixth junior brother, "Go and check what that ball of light is." Just as the sixth junior brother was about to look closer, the third senior brother shouted, "Back away." He waved his right hand. His sword flew out, and a sharp blade of spiritual energy shot out, striking the skeleton. The skeleton exploded, turning into a ball of light. A thin thread appeared in midair, then vanished. The third senior brother's eyes flashed with ecstasy. "Quick, chase after it, sixth junior brother." As they gave chase, the third senior brother explained, "We're in luck. That thin thread should be immortal beast food. This is a delicacy that immortal beasts love. Wherever it's found, there's likely an immortal beast spirit nearby." As the two pursued the thread, Wang Lin followed unhurriedly. The disciples weaved through the cave, venturing deeper. As they chased, they went deeper and deeper. The third senior brother felt uneasy. Although he had been to the Immortal Beast Mansion before, he had never ventured this deep. He hesitated. Wang Lin's divine sense detected the immortal beast food slow down and enter a fist-sized hole. Wang Lin immediately followed. His expression changed instantly. The sight stunned him. Countless thin threads covered the stone walls. In the center of the cave, a white jade stone emitted a dense aura of immortal qi. Beside the jade stone lay a skeleton. A golden iron plate on its chest emitted faint waves of pressure. Even more terrifying, the skeleton held a flying sword remarkably similar to the immortal sword Wang Lin had seen in the illusion. He could clearly see the thin threads burrowing in and out of the skeleton. Each time, the skeleton twitched, as if coming to life. Seeing this, Wang Lin immediately took out his. The Immortal Realm journey continues. Please like and subscribe. We'll continue in the next episode.